Hi, welcome to Talk with Confidence. This is where we have conversations that inspire. Today we have a guest here. His name is Mahlatze, Vokal Maji. He's an entrepreneur and a musician, and he's got an inspiring story to tell us. A story that will shake you, move you, a story that will encourage you to carry on along the path of your dreams. Mahlatze, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this show.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's start right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Who is Mahlatze Vokal Maji?
Okay, Mahlatze Vokal Maji is a young man from a township called Seshego in Limpopo.
Yes, sir.
Polokwane. And I was born 30-something years back.
Young man.
Yeah, young man. I'm actually 36. I just turned 36 in June.
Is it? Wonderful.
Yeah, but I've been in the journey since I was 13 actually.
Yes, sir.
The journey of music, because that's where actually I define myself. However, nobody in my family sings. Very strange. My father couldn't sing late. My mother couldn't sing late as well.
Yeah.
I've got an older sister and an older brother. I'm the last born.
Yeah.
I always tell people that it's a gift from God, straight, direct from God.
It didn't come through so and so.
No, it's straight from God. So, my father used to play a lot of gospel music in the morning at church as well. We used to, have those music, choir and all of that. And I just ended up loving music from there. But I didn't know I could sing. I used to rap actually.
Is it? Okay.
I didn't know I could sing. Only at a later stage, they gave me a chance at church. Our church at International Assemblies of God.
Yeah.
There was a lady by the name of Nelly Hopper, and I'll never forget her. She gave me a chance and said, you know what, lead the choir. For what? I don't know. She just chose me from, from everybody and said, do this. And ever since then, it has been,
the journey.
The journey.
Interestingly enough, you mentioned that nobody else in your family was doing this. How hard was it then being a pioneer in the sense of your own family? When you do something, that hasn't been done in your particular sphere or in your particular environment, what are the challenges that come with it? Do people encourage you? Do they discourage you? What are some of the challenges of being a pioneer in a particular sphere?
Very strange again that my father actually, he found out that I could sing a month before he passed away. And he always had me singing like when I was doing like dishes and stuff. And he told my mother that, hey man, your son can sing, because he had an ear somehow.
Yeah.
But he never really had a chance to hear me like performing and all of that. So I don't know if he was going to support me or not, but for some reason, I feel as if he was going to support me.
Yeah.
And I actually took a bold step. I sang at his funeral. Just one of those like honor.
Yeah, man.
And then after that, my mother, for some time, even when I sang at church, it was never much of a support. It was just one of those things that go to school, go study. After I finished my matric, I came to Johannesburg. I studied civil engineering, of course with a bit of a command there. Very lucky that my sister and my brother, they were also doing their own engineering and marketing. But along the line, my brother is a videographer, and then my sister is a fashion designer. So we're more likely in the entertainment industry. My mother lost a job at the time, like even before my father passed. So she never really supported me as much. But probably I should think through prayer she did.
Yes.
A lot of my friends, when we did a lot of concerts, when we were on TV and we had magazines, their parents were there, but my mother never came. And only at a later stage, because I completed civil engineering, only at a later stage it happened that my mother started hearing people that, hey, we saw your son on TV. We had your son on radio, and she started getting that idea into her head more. And even myself, I started becoming more of a man to say, you know what, it's not just about being a musician, touring the world and all of that, but I can provide. I was able to bring food on the table and say, Mom, look, I know you're not working, but here is something, you know.
Yeah.
And from then on, I think she started looking at me differently. And she would even sometimes, maybe, we would come back 3 o'clock in the morning and she'd prepare. I would find her preparing food for me, you know.
So instead of the expectation of where were you, this is 3
Yeah.
a.m. Now she's preparing food for
Exactly.
you. But that for me, that spells support.
Yes, it
That
is.
spells support.
It is, yeah. And you know, she passed away last year. However, I still thank her for the remaining years that she supported me where it was more visible, because at the time when she supported me probably through prayer and talking to a couple of friends of hers, I didn't see it as much, but I mean, I really do thank it, you know. But now the remaining years that she actually supported me where it was visible, I really applaud her for that, and I'll forever cherish that.
Awesome, wonderful. Just talking on a support structure. I mean, the music industry can be brutal at times.
Yeah.
And I imagine being an artist, you do need a strong support structure. With both your parents having passed away, currently, what do you lean on? Who do you lean on in terms of keeping you upright, keeping you grounded?
My wife and my child.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I was very fortunate enough, actually, blessed to call it, that I have a very supporting wife. She was also into acting at some point, and she had to go into the corporate world. We have a 4-year-old daughter,
Also.
a very brilliant child. They support me so much that I feel like they are part of me. As much as it sometimes, you know, with music, as you said, it could be brutal. There's times where you don't have gigs at all. The meetings didn't go well. The deals were like written off immediately. But she'll be the one person saying to me, you're gonna make it, don't worry, your time is coming.
Wonderful.
And I sometimes ask myself, where does she get all these words to tell me? Because, you know, it doesn't seem like, I mean, I remember there was a time, I think, just shortly after we got married, about last year, I think. And I said to her, next year I'm going to quit this music thing and go and sell bananas on the And she laughed at me and she's like, you are not cut for that.
As well.
And ever since then, even my daughter now knows all my songs.
Wow.
4 years. She sings all the time. I
Wonderful,
take her to crash. She sings all my songs.
Beautiful.
And that on its own inspires me to say, if this little child is looking up to me like this, what more other people could be looking up to me? So there is no way that I can give up right now, you know? So they are much of a bigger support structure. And of course, I've got a couple of friends that, you know, always would call me and say, you know what, you're doing well. You know, the world is watching. So the time when you give up, you must just remember that somebody's watching. Somebody was leaning upon that particular dream that you have as well.
Like you making it opens doors for other people to make it. And, you know, I go back to Pioneer because I believe everybody or anybody who's chasing a dream that other people are reluctant to chase, other people have given up on. You are like the person that is opening the door.
Yes.
You know, biblically there's Moses
no.
that opens the Red Sea.
Of course.
But if there is no Moses to open the Red Sea, then nobody else can go through.
Exactly.
So when you make it, it's not just you making it, you're inspiring somebody else to make it. In terms of your songs, I was going through some of the titles of your song. You have songs like Follow Your Dreams, Liya Eto. And just by reading the titles, I sense that there is a message and a depth in your music. What do you want to achieve through the songs that you produce?
Music on its own has been one of the most highest occupation, if I have to put it that way. Because if you remember the times in the Bible, I mean, Lucifer was one of the most greatest. So that's one thing that actually makes God's heart to be weak. So music is about to inspire. You know, if now you need water, I'll tell you, drink this water. It's very tangible, it's very visible. But you could be hurt and sitting on the bed. You don't know what's going to heal you inside because nobody knows what's happening on the inside of a person. But through music, through a song, you could listen to that and think, okay, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
Now I think I can do this.
It's
So
water for the soul.
it's water for the soul.
Yeah.
Not visible, but it's water for the soul. It's
Yeah,
food
man.
for the soul. So with my song title, or rather any song that I compose in terms of like writing and all of that, I always imagine that particular person who needs inspiration. Inspiration, it's not only when you're sad, but even when you're happy, can you become more happier?
Yeah, man.
Do that dance song, and
Yeah.
when we wash dishes, we get, you just go crazy,
dancing,
start
yeah.
dancing and all of that. So obviously, that's where I choose most of my titles in terms of songs and say, I'm gonna do this for this particular person. It could be one out of a million. It's okay.
Yeah.
That one soul, as long as they healed, it's fine. Yes, I do have happy songs like Yo Lerato. I do have happy songs like this is the other one, Love Me Now. But it's just in all essence, they're just to inspire.
Inspire.
Yeah, they're just to
Wonderful.
inspire.
And I was going through your profile, and I see that you also have campaigns,
Yes.
and some of them stem from your titles, your song titles. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
In particular, there's a song called Follow. That song I've now turned it into a campaign that I'm launching next year. It's called Follow Your Dreams campaign, or rather a project. Why I said that was that I studied civil engineering for a good 4 years. Because, like they said, go to school, go study, you need to be academic and all of that.
Yeah.
I then left after that. I worked into construction. I would always wear those, you know them, the hard hats and go everywhere.
Yeah,
but at some point, I said to myself, this is not me.
Yeah, man.
There's something burning deep within me.
Yeah.
And I had to take a very bold step again. I remember in 2010, actually, I had to resign, or rather remove myself from the construction world and follow my dream of music.
Yeah.
And it was a bit difficult. I mean, there were times where we'd perform a whole 6 months not getting paid, but today, reason why I started that project was that I want to inspire people to say, look, I've done it. Now we're talking a good full 7 years. I was able to get myself, a car. I was able to get married. I was able to get an apartment.
Just by following your dream.
Yeah, just by following my dream. Before then, I didn't have all those.
Yeah.
Because obviously, yes, through the world, we look at success as those little things, And I had to say, you know what? Just to inspire people, there's a lot of people that are in their particular offices for whatever reason. But the truth is, we know that there's more to it. There's more that they can do. But they just scared as, how am I gonna,
Yeah, how am I gonna pay the bills? How am I gonna?
I mean? Yeah.
But what I love about what you said is that before, when you were in the stream that everybody was saying, this is the academic stream, where the security is, you were not able to get yourself some of the things that you've been able to just by following your passion. And personally, one of the things I believe is that, when you follow your purpose, money will begin following you.
Of course.
And
money follow me. Yeah, money follow me. Not true.
And you were speaking of air that right now you're booked for probably the whole of December. And it's not that you went around making calls saying, book me for this book.
No.
People are booking you because you followed your purpose.
I followed my dream. Now they're
Money is following you. It's like when you plant a mango tree. No?
Yeah.
The mango tree, when it starts producing fruits, the mango doesn't have to shout,
No.
come get me. No, people will come automatically,
Of course.
But it's because you decided to take the plunge and follow your dream.
Yes.
And just on that, what would you say to people who are in the situation that you were in? Maybe they're not into music. Maybe they are really entrepreneurs at their core. Maybe they're into fitness, but they are stuck in a corporate environment that is stifling them. The very same calling or the voice that you heard, that you listen to, they are hearing, but they're not listening to it. What would you say to those people?
There's a lady friend of mine, we met at the Summer Awards at some point. She was a computer analyst, whatnot, in some offices.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, she was doing that for years, and she was earning good money and all of that. We started being friends, and from time to time she'd call me. I would inspire her, this and that, and it's of course a journey. I mean, motivation is not something that you could do today and it's done, but it's like bathing, they call it.
Do it
you
daily.
have to do it daily. Get that call sometimes, inspire somebody. There's nothing in the world that is so beautiful than someone believing in you. Even now that we have children, have a word that you want to say to your child every day, because words are like seeds that are being planted. Remember, God created heaven and earth with words. Let there be. So you might think, I don't have money to give that person, but just say something nice to them. That lady, as we speak, she quit her job last year. Now she bakes scones, cakes and all. She supplies the whole of Mafikeng.
Wow,
she was on TV at some point. She was doing like radio interviews as well. So. And those are some of the things that you look at them and you're like, wow, But what I can tell to those people that are like sitting in the offices or wherever they are and saying, I can't do this. You have that one granny or one mother or one friend that would inspire you. Of course, do those calculated moves. But the most inspiring thing is that you wake up and you're doing something you love.
Yeah, man.
Something
that fuels you in the morning.
Yes, something that you love. It's something that will make sure that will get you bread on the table when, in due time. So don't just do something because of the money. Don't just do something because of whatever, but do something you love. So wherever you are, choose that thing that you love and say, you know what, I'm going to start focusing on this. As you mentioned, fitness, start making sure that you are like proper. People will start calling you and say, look, we can see how good you look. How do you do it? Then you start now saying, consulting, business consultants and all of that. They'll advise you to say, look, you want to go into fitness. People are coming to you, charge this much for, and before you know it, I mean, I normally would say a good year to 2 years. It will be a bit struggling times, but I'm sure you will. Once you have your eyes on the goal, all the obstacles are not going to be visible to you. So just try as much as you can and say, look, I'm going to do this, as long as you know what your goal is.
I like what you say there about consulting people who can advise you, and I believe it's very important. Even from a mentorship level, even if it's reading a book by somebody who's done what you did, etc. In terms of mentorship and people who you look up to, people who are maybe they are where you want to get to, are there those kind of people in your lives, and what role or importance of what importance are they in your life?
Musically, I had to look at a person like I love music so much. I had to look at a person like R. Kelly. For one, because I feel like even if you can say to him, produce house, he'll do it.
Versatility.
He's versatile.
And one of the things that I respect about R. Kelly, like you say, versatility.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know the amount of hits that is written, and he's written hits for
a lot of other artists.
A lot of other artists, and they've become big simply because he was behind them, and he was able to inspire them and give them the knowledge and contribute his particular talent to them making it.
True. So for me, R. Kelly, I look up to him because of that particular space of like music, producing and all of that, and his hardships as well. I mean, he has been into a lot of drama scandals and whatever, but he still comes out and say, you know what, this is me. But the one thing that I take out from a lot of people that inspires me, it's building a legacy. Because at times, yes, I mean, there could be a lot of people that knows Whitney Houston as an artist, Boyz II Men, but they didn't know that R. Kelly was behind their songs. So whether R. Kelly dies in however way, but his legacy will continue. Those songs will continue. So live a legacy that one day, even when you're gone, there will be your name to be remembered on people's minds. Like everywhere they walk, and they'll say, you know what, there lived a man, 1, 2, 3. There lived a woman, 1, 2, 3. So all the time, whatever that you do, touch a person, do whatever that you think you can do. That'll make sure that at the end, people will be able to be inspired. That on its own is living a legacy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Speaking of legacy, you've got a group, a band called Muso Brothers Legacy.
Yes.
Is it a band? Is it a brand?
Okay.
What is it?
Okay, Muso means a musician.
Yes, sir.
It's a group that I started long back, with my previous whoever's. And I started that group as Muso means a musician, but just to put a bit of a slang with a Z instead of an S. And I didn't say Musos, but I said Muso because I felt the three of us at the time, we were one thing. If you want to go far, of course, you can always go alone. But if you want to go further, take people with, that's what I always believe in. And I started that group. However, it came into a company now. It's called Muso Legacy because, like I said, I'm about building a legacy in all that I do. If it's image, just build a legacy. And like he used to wear this way, Those are some of the things that at least people will remember at the time. And then under Muso Legacy as a company, it's now a record company. It's now also a company that does image, that does motivation and all of that.
Wonderful.
And mentorship. And then I have a group called Muso Brothers. So and me and my friend, we now continued with the brand Muso. But we are now Muso Brothers.
Okay.
And I mean, we perform around, we've taught around, and we're still doing it even now. So basically that's what Muso is all about. Muso Brothers, and then there's Muso Legacy.
Wonderful, man. I love that. And just on a personal point of view, you've touched on it here and there, but I want you to just articulate it in terms of legacy.
Yeah.
What do you want people to say about Mahlatze, Vokal, Machi, when he's no longer? What is the legacy that you want to leave?
Look, honestly speaking, I know even now I teach my child sharing is caring. And my mother once taught me that when you have a pot, fire, and water, they all make boiled water. And whereas my father also taught me that success, you don't measure it by what you have, but you measure it by how many people you empower. So what I want people to remember me with, it's the inspiration that I've, basically the impact that I've made in their lives. They might not say it straight, but deep down they would know that, you know what, through this man, I know that I was able to be redirected to. There's a friend of mine, now she's been married for the past over 15 years. Since we got to tertiary, she met this guy, and those people that would always be against certain relationships. But I was always that one friend that would, no, don't worry. But I was very shocked actually now. She sent me a message last year. She's like, you know what? Every time I look at my marriage, I remember you are behind it.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
I just always knew that.
You never know who you touch by, like you were saying, the words that you speak.
And when she said that, I was like, okay, wow. Of course, we're talking a different, this is marriage. We're not talking a career. But for me to have inspired her with that on its own, it means even in career-wise, there's a couple of people that I could inspire. So I want people to remember that through Mahlatze, today I'm like this. And through his words, today I'm like this. Through his songs, today I'm like this. Through his humbleness, however way that they might explain it, but that for me will be building a legacy. One day my child will probably be stranded somewhere, and through my name, it will be that, because you're father, you know what, you can go through. The door opens.
You've opened the door for her to go through.
Exactly. Yeah, because what are we living for on this earth if those are not the things that we are doing? The cars that we drive, houses, we're gonna live at some point. But there's certain things that you really can't go to heaven with.
Yeah. Just on that, because you spoke about your daughter, there's a beautiful thing that came to mind as you're speaking. They said, especially with children, it's not what you live to them that matters.
Yeah.
It's what you live inside of
them. Yes.
And
very profound.
I love, even with your music, that's why I mentioned the titles and the depth of message. For me, as I'm listening to you, it's not really what you're going to be living in the world, but what you be, not what you be living, the physical things in the world, but the messages
inside
that you'll be living inside of people.
True.
And that's very powerful.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you've been able to inspire people on a microscopic level, like with certain individuals.
Yeah.
But what I believe your music will do is do exactly the same thing, but on a
Worldwide.
grander scale, on a macro scale. But if you're faithful with that little conversation,
of course.
you'll be given many more souls to touch, many more
actually,
people to inspire.
Just to add on that, there was a time actually when I was growing up, like I've always wanted to be a scientist. I was that little boy who always fixing things at the house, like TV, like those little things. I mean, gadgets and stuff. So, and for me, I felt like one day I'm going to create something that will change the world, that will inspire the world, like your Einstein and whoever, But at some point along life, I suffered from depression. And where else, just on that little note, my father actually passed from depression and he committed suicide. I suffered depression. I wrote a 7-page letter. And when I was about to plan that, I want to leave this, But while I was writing, all the time, every day when I get to class, I would write something. And there was a line that I wrote that, God, I've always wanted to be a scientist to change the world. But little did I know that through music, that is me changing the world.
Wow.
I'm still more likely a scientist.
Powerful, man.
Even if it wasn't in inventing something, But the primary purpose here was to change the world with what I invent. So now I'm still changing the world with what I have, which was what you have instilled in me. And I looked at that letter, I'm like, how? So why do I want to, come on now. There's so much to live for,
There's so much, I love that. Thank you so much. I have been inspired, my brother.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. That was inspirational. My name is Confidence Sileme, and thank you so much for tuning into a talk with Confidence. Just to end off the show, I think it's very fitting. We have a musician here. His guitar is here. Let's end the show off with a song.
You got to come alive, got to shine your light. It's a wonderful ride, don't let it pass you by. Whatever's on your mind, just don't think twice. It's a wonderful life. Go on and free your mind. You deserve to rise. Oh God, you deserve to fly. You deserve to rise. Oh God, you deserve to fly. You got to follow. You got to follow to go too far. Not tomorrow, we gon' be one. You got to follow. You got to follow to go too far. Not tomorrow, we gon' be one. You deserve to fly. Oh God, you deserve to rise. You deserve to fly. Oh God, you deserve to rise. You got to come alive, got to shine your light. It's a wonderful ride, don't let it pass you by. Whatever's on your mind,